I want you to know that we are paying a visit to the Northwest Suburban Conference for this edition of high school girls basketball. We come to Centennial to watch a couple of teams who are perennial contenders. The Centennial Cougars, three-time section champions, looking to pick up a statement win against the Maple Grove Crimson, a team on the rise, and they already have a couple of late conference wins under their belt. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Peden. He is Alex Nagel. And Alex, Maple Grove and Centennial, two longtime conference rivals, two teams that are always in the mix come postseason. But right now, two different sides of the coin. Centennial dealing with some injuries. Autumn McCall won't be back until next week. That impacts Centennial's depth considerably. But Marisa Frost and Molly Monson have picked up the slack in her absence. I'm guessing those two will need a big game to go up against the likes of Maple Grove tonight.
The Cougars sure will, Mike, and you look at somebody like Marisa Frost, she's a threat on both ends of the floor. Consider last year at this time, she broke a school record with 12 steals, and if she can replicate that feat tonight, it'll give the Cougars a chance.
And Centennial, they've held their own in Autumn McCall's absence. And if you follow them over the last couple of years, they've had to overcome slow starts before winning their section and making it to the state tournament round. On the Maple Grove side, they don't have the height that they used to, but so far they haven't needed it. Undefeated. They started the year with a big win over Wayzata. They eked out a close one over Eden Prairie, and a big reason for that, Alex, is their go-to scorer, Jordan Ode.
I tell you what, she's an amazing player, Mike, and she just keeps getting better and better. And consider, she's just a junior too, so she's still got room to grow.
And she will continue that growth at Michigan State in a couple of years. A couple of other names to keep an eye on, Alex, that helped this Maple Grove team burn the way they have, as hot as they have. Ava Cassette and Claire Stern. It's a team that has been on the wrong end of some tough section finals. Still have a long way to go, but Maple Grove, I can't think of a better way to start and try to get back into that Final Eight than the beginning they've had so far.
Well, those two players you just mentioned, Mike, are two important pieces for this Maple Grove puzzle. And obviously they're going to be big pieces going down the road when we get into January and February. Not only for Northwest Suburban Conference honors, but to do the damage that they need to do when it comes section time.
And outside the conference, Maple Grove still has several late conference teams and Providence Academy, so they will be battle-tested by the time late February rolls around. But tonight, their next test is Centennial, and we'll find out who passes that test in flying colors when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin City Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Tough shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. And we welcome you back to Centennial High School in Circle Pines. Home turf of sorts for Alex Nagel. And I figure every once in a while, since I take him on all kinds of adventures across the metro, once in a while I will feed his Northwest Suburban appetite. And
that's always a good thing.
I was going to say, this is a pretty good matchup. These teams only play once a year, if I'm correct, because they're in separate divisions.
Right.
But again, they're always in contention come postseason time for Maple Grove. We've all heard the stories about losing to Roseville 2 years running. And Mark Cook, when I talked to him beforehand, he actually was a little bummed that Roseville got moved because, in his view, now Section 4 is even tougher. It's more lopsided than it was before. Section 5, you've got a lot of teams that are struggling to get to Maple Grove's level. So, in one sense, he's thinking if Maple Grove gets out of there, no one's going to bat an eye because of who they face. But when you look at their non-conference schedule, Maple Grove, they're not backing away from anybody.
Right, and I think that's important. And you look at that, what you were just talking about, Mike, it's one of those classic yes, but situations. But ultimately, in the end, if you're Maple Grove, you're looking to get over that proverbial hump that you haven't been able to get over here in the last couple of years. Ultimately, you have to take care of your own business. I think this Maple Grove team is capable of doing that this year. They've got all the pieces in place, and it seems to be out there for them.
And you know what? If they beat Roseville one of those 2 years, we don't even have this discussion.
Right.
And that is the beauty and the beast of sport. Here are the starters for Maple Grove. It's Claire Stern, number 14. Kate Holmquist, number 20. Ava Cassette, number 23. Jordan Ode, the Michigan State Verbal, number 31. And Bella Hanna, number 42. Centennial will start Kate Lee, number 5. Molly Monson, number 10. Marisa Frost, the North Dakota State commit, number 12. Sydney Schmitz, 25. And Jordan Metz, number 32. Centennial at 2-4. They're coming off a close loss with Andover. And again, Autumn McCall will be back next week. Suffered an ankle sprain in the game against White Bear Lake. A little more serious than they thought, but Centennial will have a lot of experience come January, February. That's the biggest emphasis,
right.
Jamie Sobolik told me. A lot of the players that have had to fill in don't have a lot of starts under their belt compared to some of the teams they've faced. And if you've seen Centennial over the last couple of years, they've had slow starts, and they would find a way to win Section 7-4A and get into state. So whatever happens tonight, know this Centennial team, they've got the long game in mind. They've got the first possession here. Metz was in trouble, and she threw it away to Holmquist. Maple Grove's smaller this year, but playing with a much more brisk pace. They can't hang on to it there, though, and Centennial will take over. Centennial, of course, lots of history in girls basketball, several state appearances, and then making it to the championship in 2009. Maple Grove last got there in 2020, if I'm correct, when they were in Section 8. And are hoping to get back in the show. They very well could. Centennial recovers after a scramble, and Jordan Metz gets on the board.
What a play by Jordan Metz.
Jordan Metz, the 5'10 senior. Hannah. Nice step-through move by Claire Stern.
Again, that's one of those two senior leaders you were talking about from Maple Grove at the outset, Mike. They're going to play an important part of the Crimson's success this season.
Kate Lee tried to cut her way through the lane, didn't work out. Whoops. I feel like this would be a time, if Tony Gear was still here, where we would get one of his patented one-liners.
Yeah, I think that was always one of his classic retorts on situations such as that.
But, as I often say, it happens to the best of us. Just got to shake it off and try again. Not even Maya Moore was perfect. Centennial gets the entry feed inside, and Sydney Schmitz scores. So Metz with the field goal and an assist in the early going. This is Cassette, kicks out to Holmquist for 3. It bounces off the back iron. And the rebound secured by Frost. We should point out, Frost is playing against her future teammate as she tries to go coast to coast and does. Claire Stern also going to North Dakota State alongside Frost. Ode, the handoff, the 3. Almost went in. Ava Cassette had a good look. Frost brings it up. Now Metz has it. 6-2. Centennial in the early going. Metz able to get the save and keep it in play. Took a couple of steps but avoided the travel. Another cut and another short-range bucket.
Great start here by Centennial. This is exactly what they were hoping for.
And it's not like Centennial runs into trouble without Autumn McCall. They beat Blaine handily.
Right.
They played Andover close, came back from 10-11 down, and were able to make a fight of it late. This Centennial team can function. Of course, they'd love to have Autumn McCall back, but
Sure.
again, it goes back to the trajectory the last couple of years.
Well,
if this team has a slow start, don't write up their epitaph, because they will be a contender come February.
And my point, too, to further what you were saying, I don't think that this Centennial team will likely even hit their stride until sometime after the first of the year when they delve into the meat of conference play.
And a big reason for this start, 4 different players have scored for the Cougars. It's 8-2, of course, really early, but this Centennial team, Jamie Sobolik was hoping this game would give them some confidence, and who knows what will happen later on, but I think a great way to find that confidence is to go on the run Centennial has early.
Well, we saw Maple Grove apply some full and half-court pressure here not too long ago. You would think that they might try and go back to that, not so much for the pressure aspect, but more for the take you out of your rhythm aspect.
It would be a different story if Centennial wasn't in the mix like they customarily are each year. If they were a team that maybe was on the rise, but they know how to handle adversity, making state the last 3 years, traveling call on Hannah. And there were some different pieces in that puzzle, but let's not forget, Alex, Centennial was within a point of making the 4A state championship back in 2021.
Yep.
Against Rosemount. So this team, they know how to get it done. Against Minnetonka, they held with them for a half, and we're going to have a walk the other way.
One too many steps there by Marisa Frost.
So we've had a walk one way, we've had a walk the other way. It makes me want to go and say, walk this way.
That was one of your better ones, Mike. I really like that.
Jordan Ode lining up a 3.
Well, I tell you what, look out if Jordan Ode gets hot.
If Jordan Ode gets hot, she's going to tell everyone else, dream on. Centennial with the answer. A little short. That was Schmitz on the attempt. 8-5. That was a good result, though, for Maple Grove coming out of the timeout, though.
Yeah.
Maple Grove making a substitution already. That's Addison Hannah. She and Ode, the Hannahs and Ode, I should say, all run a training business for fellow players. There's Ode. To Bella Hannah. Looking for the runner, won't get it. Metz picks it up. Metz trying to go underneath, draws the late foul on Stern, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Claire Stern said, I don't think so on that one.
Jordan Metz, the 5'10 senior, a 3-point threat. Also a 3-year varsity starter on Centennial soccer team. She played goalie or goalkeeper if you're a traditionalist. And you'll find a lot of multi-sport crossovers on this roster, Alex. Marisa Frost, another soccer basketball crossover.
Yep. We see more and more of that, and I think that's a good thing.
Metz splits at the line. Well, I had a conversation with Pat Barrett about this with injuries as Maple Grove unable to finish the baseline take. I'll get to that point in a moment. This is Monson under duress for a brief moment. Frost, the handoff to Metz. Kate Lee. Back to Monson. Plenty of time. And a foul is called on Addie Hannah. So to finish up that point, Alex, Pat was noting with multi-sport athletes, it reduces the risk of injury talking about the situation that's unfolding with UConn. Paige
Right.
Becker's
Right.
missing just about 2 years of games, and she specialized. Now, we're not saying that was a mistake, but when you focus on one sport and one sport only, it can run the risk of overuse. Monson unable to finish the layup. Things are getting a little jittery right now. Holmquist finds Stern, who floats it in.
Nice little dart into the lane by Stern. Gets the Crimson closer here now.
9-7 the score. Metz for three. In and out. Rebound. Tipping it was Lee. She'll shoot two.
You have to figure, Mike, that offensive rebounding is going to be big for Centennial in this particular contest. If they can get those second and third chances, that's going to really bode well for them.
As Lee goes to the line, we should also note, not only is this a conference rivalry, it's also a mini reunion for Minnesota Fury. Jordan Ode, Marisa Frost, Autumn McCall, who's not able to play tonight. Ava Cassette, among the many who wear the Fury baby blue and yellow colors during the spring and summer months. Lee splits at the line. It's 10-7 Centennial over Maple Grove. Here's a three. Bullseye. Kendra Overski with a rather casual-looking three. We're even at 10. That's a double dribble call on Molly Monson.
Well, despite some early sluggishness by this Crimson team, they've got this contest level at the 12-17 mark of this first half.
Ode. Out to Hannah, Addie Hannah. There are two of them. Ode's got it out of the wing. The kick out. Three ball, corner pocket. Addie Hannah gives Maple Grove the lead.
Good job by Jordan Ode drawing that defense into the lane there, giving Addison Hannah a lot of room there to sink that three from the right corner.
An 11-2 run for the Crimson. Centennial coughs it up on the errant pass. And this Maple Grove team, like we said, they're smaller, but they can run. Hannah flings it out to Ode on the outside. Sizing up the defense, pulling up for the elbow J, and she drops it. Ode with 5, and now the run is 13-2. Maple Grove leads 15-10. Here comes the press.
And with numbers.
Centennial gets the deflection, so that will stop a transition play, but Alex, Maple Grove, after that 8-2 deficit, really locked in here.
They seem to have gotten over those early game jitters that they may have had, and there's an easy inbounds. Ooh, I'm surprised you didn't finish. But this pressure defense that Maple Grove is applying right now is really causing some serious problems for the Cougars.
Frost to Monson for 3. Off the rim. Picked up. Peterson. Can't hit the fadeaway, and no matter where it is, fadeaways are always tough. And this is where I think having McCall on the bench, that's where Centennial hurts the most. Autumn wasn't a prolific scorer the last couple of years, but she gives you that length
right,
to patrol the paint.
Especially on offensive rebounding situations.
And again, she'll come back. Scheduled to return next week. Took part in practices yesterday. Took a little longer than expected for the swelling to go down with her sprain as Ode lines up another three.
Jordan
Switches it
Ode
all.
starting to get in the groove now for Maple Grove.
Well, Ode is swelling up her point total. She's got 8. Maple Grove leads by 8. More press. They can't break it. Ava Cassette with the pick. Kickball. 10:16 left in the first half. 18-10 the score. One of several notable games taking place tonight. Providence Academy and Lakeville North are meeting. Benilde St. Margaret's facing Alexandria. BSM shorthanded. Another drive, too strong. Hannah finds Ode for 3. Bullseye.
Goodness.
3-pointer, Jordan Ode.
And with it now, a 21-10 advantage for the Crimson.
The run is now 19-2 for Maple Grove. Ode
got it again.
Sniping that pass away. But Maple Grove will...
I'm not sure what happened there.
Was this a shot clock issue?
Mark Cook is asking for an
One of the
explanation.
officials was saying to reset the shot clock to 15, and Mark Cook is saying there was a change of possession.
Should get the call here.
I think it is 30 seconds. And if you ask me, that was the right call, but it is worth pointing out it would reset to 20 under a varying set of circumstances, but there was that possession change. Ode, key check 3, goes off the back iron. Underneath, Bella Hanna. Metz gets the rebound. Centennial, they could use a score here. There's Frost against Ode. Two Fury comrades going at it. Look out. Jump ball. Centennial with the arrow. But to clarify on that inadvertent whistle, the shot clock would reset to 20, say, if Maple Grove recovered the ball in the front court.
Right, right.
It mirrors the college rules, so it's 35 if there's a change of position in the backcourt. It's 20 in the front court. And Maple Grove, I think they recovered it. Well, it doesn't matter. Marisa Frost scores.
Well, Frost finally breaks the drought for the Cougars. Now they got to see if they can get some stops. That's one way to do it.
That wasn't just any old stop. That was a volleyball block. And Frost, looking for the 3, can't find it. As I'm sorting through all the scenarios in my head on when the shot clock resets to 20, something we didn't have to think about last year. During live ball possession changes, it goes to the full 35. Dead ball, that's where you get into the front court, back court. There's 11 in all. The high school league has a page where you can brush up on it. And those changes, most of them didn't take place until a week before the season, as Maple Grove throws it away, which took me a little while to get used to because I'd covered invitationals that used the shot clock and it would just reset to 35 regardless of what happened. But now with it mirroring the college game, that does speed up the tempo. 15 seconds is not an insignificant amount of time.
Going again. Maple Grove with a stifling defense.
Marisa Frost,
And that what
equally
an answer
stifling.
by Marisa Frost on the other end.
This is a chess match involving 10 moving pieces, and they can go anywhere on the board. Ode looking for the 3. Here's one from the key. That's Holmquist. It's long. Well, Alex, Centennial is getting their share of stops here. Can they translate some of that into points?
That's the big question.
Frost moving about. Now Metz has it. Frost again. Stuck behind Metz. Nowhere to go. Reach-in foul is called as Claire Pullman tried to advance her way to the rim.
Well, for Centennial, lately anyway, it's been a tough row to hoe in the half-court offense. But they've been patient enough, at least in this last situation here, to draw a foul.
Oh, and there's still plenty of time. Can they get some shots to fall? That's the question. They did early. And then Maple Grove went on that enormous 19-2 run. We've got a foul.
That's the first
on
one.
Metz. Ode flips it to Bellahanna. The bounce pass to Stern. A block from behind on Metz.
Well, Stern lost a split second by putting the ball on the floor there.
The clutch move cost her. Monson for three. On the line, but it grazed the front iron anyway. Driving kick, three ball. That caroms off the back iron. Metz giving Centennial a defensive anchor, though. Got the block. She's had a few rebounds. And Centennial, again, doing enough defensively. Oh, Ode read the pass. One-on-one, she'll beat Marisa Frost to the rim.
I tell you, Jordan Ode has that explosiveness combined with the length that she has. She can really get into those passing lanes and just wreak havoc.
She and Addie Mack are teammates on Minnesota Fury alongside McCall. That's going to be a walk on Monson. And Ode is one of two Minnesota players in the top 60 in ESPNW's 2025 class. They only go to 60 for the juniors, but Ode is up there. Aaliyah Crump is the highest ranking Minnesota player on that list. I wouldn't be surprised if Addie Mack gets into that final 100 when that list comes out next year.
Wow, what a save by Metz.
She got the deflection and the save. Alex, Metz, if there was a defensive player of the game candidate, I think Metz would be my top contender. She's doing more than enough. Centennial just isn't translating it into offense right now.
Yeah.
And they've got the pieces to do it. Jamie Sobolik is saying if this team can get a little more swagger about them, take confidence in their shot selections, some big things could come their way. More pressure. Frost will reset, 10 to shoot. Looking, was it a foul? I was not sure for a moment if that was going to be a foul or a walk.
Well,
we're going to have a discussion.
Like she slipped down there. Lost her footing momentarily.
Well, they're talking about it.
Let's see what they say.
Frost is lining up. Depending on which side you're rooting for, it's a travel or a foul.
Regardless, it was a daring drive-by.
And it is a traveling call. We don't have the benefit of review, Alex, from here. I feel that was an appropriate call, or I'm not complaining or griping about it. I think Frost got a couple of extra.
It was a daring drive with the shot clock starting to wind down.
Yeah,
by Frost.
I thought Frost had a couple of steps in there. Ode looking for the assist, but the three from Overski hits front iron, and now we get a foul. 5:19 left. Neither team close to the penalty yet. And remember, this Maple Grove team already making strides they had struggled to achieve before. 2-0 against the Lake Conference. Beating Wayzata and Eden Prairie, Hopkins, Minnetonka, and St. Michael Abbeville all on the calendar for the Crimson. And then Providence Academy, arguably the top team in the state, 8 to shoot for Maple Grove. Do they see the clock? There's the countdown. Ode looking for space, pulls up. And you hear Jamie Sobolik exclaim, the horn means nothing. Alex, we saw a couple of instances where players got burned, hearing the buzzer go off and then stopping in their tracks.
Yep.
It's not the horn you should be listening for, it's the whistle. But again, this is the first year the shot clock is statewide, so...
That's interesting because that's one of those, wow.
You want interesting. Molly Monson making things interesting with the steal and the finish.
Molly Monson, the sophomore.
Ode, a little bit of trouble, but Maple Grove does line up a three from the corner. It's too strong. Ball did not touch rim, although the shot clock was at about 20 seconds anyway. You were saying, Alex, though, it's interesting with that shot clock and how everyone's adapting to it. 8 to shoot now.
That's one of those little things.
Stern saw the clock and banked the runner in.
Stern making the daring drive into traffic and getting the dead eyeball off the glass.
Well, up until this year, the only time you really ran into shot clocks were invitationals or the occasional non-conference game. Maple Grove leaves the lead pass a little long. 3:43 left in the first half. 25-14 our score. I suspect when we get to section time, everyone will be used to the clock, but
yeah,
this is a new thing for everybody. AAU and high school ball up until this point never had a consistent shot clock rule. Monson going across, banks it in.
The glass works for her too.
Maple Grove throws it away again. Alex, we may be seeing a new lifeline out of Molly Monson and Centennial.
Well, here I think may be a critical juncture for the Centennial team. You got back to within single digits here. You're coming down on the 320 mark. This is a great opportunity to narrow this deficit, get right back into striking distance.
It's not that they're out of it, and I've said one thing with the shot clock is that you're almost never out of it, not like you used to be. Marisa Frost, tough drive, and she makes it work.
I tell you what an effort by Frost, having made the left-handed shot off the glass and getting it to kiss off perfectly.
Centennial, they've scored in the last 3 possessions. Here comes Monson again, forces the tie-up. Maple Grove with the arrow, but Alex, I think this spurt we're seeing out of Centennial has awakened the Cougars from their slumber.
Well, I think the Cougars have started to turn up the heat defensively, too, as we just saw in this last sequence.
Hoping to make this final 250 part of Cougar Town. I'll show myself out again. ABC fans will know what I'm talking about. Maybe. Here's Ode at the high post. Addie Hanna now. Back to Ode. Wants the 3. Fakes. Pulls up. Too strong. Rebound will go to Centennial on the foul by Ava Cassette. Alex, another stop, another chance for Centennial to extend this run.
And Monson for Centennial being an absolute menace on the defensive end for the Cougars.
Well, remember, she is hold up.
What happened now?
Did we have a technical? Yes.
Wow. I did not see what happened there, but Mark Cook is obviously visibly upset about something.
I think he may be upset about the foul that was called on Cassette on the other end. So free throws here for Marisa Frost, the soccer basketball crossover.
Marisa Frost gives the first 2.
Well, the Cougars all of a sudden tightening things up here, arguably in an unexpected manner, but another chance here to narrow the gap even more.
Marisa Frost makes it a 5-point game. She grew up idolizing Maya Moore and Lindsay Whalen from the Lynx Dynasty years. Considered one of the best passers in the state. stuck now. Remember, the 5-second count applies to held balls, but not dribbling. You see it there as Metz goes high-low.
Wow.
Count it or not. And based on the direction, I think that was an offensive
they're
foul.
talking about
Or
it here. Now they're saying no basket.
it is a charge.
Wow. That would have been huge for Centennial had that counted.
As long as you're outside the restricted zone, you can set up. Ode flips it in on the feed from Holquist. Ode with 15 points. Monson thought about a three. Goes in, too strong on the layup, and the rebound squirts out. Hannah through the lane and in. Alex,
A couple good responses.
you were
by the
talking
Crimson.
about how big a swing that play could have been for Centennial. Maple Grove, they've scored the last two possessions now following that offensive foul. It's a 9-point game with just over a minute left. Metz throws it up. Not there. Ode has been cooking all half. Does she have another recipe for us? Not quite. Centennial cannot hold for the last shot. There is
About a 9-second
Yes.
differential.
but Frost isn't going to wait. That did everything but go in. Maple Grove could hold if they want. Oh, they're not going to get that chance. Alexis Hannah, the youngest, I believe, or the younger one of the Hannahs, dragged her feet. That's a traveling call, and Centennial has a chance to pick up a little momentum here with under 20 seconds. Frost trying to lose Ode.
Yeah.
Is that a walk?
Taking an extra step,
Yes.
and she did.
That can't be easy. Those two highly familiar with each other, Frost and Ode, playing on separate AAU teams because of their grade level, but I'm guessing they've had more than their share of scrimmages.
And you can probably guess they'll have some more.
Well, Ode will. Frost is done with AAU. She's going to North Dakota State after this. 10.8. Plenty of time for Maple Grove to put one more on the board. Ode, illegal screen.
Well, now if you're a Centennial, you got
5.5.
5.5 ticks left on the clock. Let's see if you can set yourself for
This is
a big three-pointer.
A wild 30 seconds unfolding here. Frost
Wow.
drew the foul
Wow.
as time expired.
These last 3 minutes and 20 seconds have been unusual.
The
to say
last
the
3:20? How about the last 30 seconds? So now we're going to have another conversation. I think it would be to determine how much time is on the clock. Probably insignificant, but we had traveling, offensive foul. Well, that was earlier. We had a bunch of traveling calls. They're going to put .2 back on, so not enough time to really do anything.
0.2 of a second.
Not unless you can throw a touchdown pass near the rim and have a player tip it in. That's about how much time you got. So Marisa Frost will shoot 3 and give Centennial a chance to trim that deficit a bit before heading into the locker room. What Frost admired most about Lindsay Whalen and Maya Moore was how unselfish they were despite their different roles on the team. And of course, Alex, I can only imagine all of the young women athletes who drew inspiration from those Lynx Dynasty years. Marisa Frost gets all 3 of those. That gives her 11. It's 29-23 at the half. Alex, what a wild set of events in that first 18 minutes. I can't wait to see what the second half brings.
Well, just like I said, what we were talking about earlier in those last 3 minutes, we had some wild swings of momentum, but still in the final analysis here, if you're Centennial, you were in danger of being in a big hole, and now you've got this thing tightened up to 6 points. You've got to feel a lot better about yourself going into the locker room at the half.
Defensively, they've held their own. Offensively, if they can get a little more rhythm their way, they just might pull off an upset. But we'll find out what the second half brings when we come back. This is high school girls basketball. Maple Grove leads Centennial 29-23. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and Alex Nagel with you at Centennial. An eventful first half, to put it mildly. Maple Grove and Centennial, with the Crimson leading the Cougars 29-23. The first half numbers go something like this. Jordan Ode with 15 points to lead everybody. Claire Stern with 6. On the Crimson side, Marisa Frost using free throws to inch her way to 11 points. Molly Monson with 6. Alex, I think Centennial's defensive tenacity has done more than enough to hang in there. If we can see some more consistency out of them on offense, they could pick up an upset win and send a statement in the first month of the season.
Well, the consistency issue that you pointed out, Mike, is going to be obviously huge for this Cougar team. They've got to find some consistency on that offensive end, especially when they're able to force turnovers. You know, they've been pretty patient with the ball in the half-court offense, but as I was mentioning earlier, it's really been a hard road to hoe for them because of the length that Maple Grove has and the way that they're able to get into the passing lanes.
And Centennial does have a couple of non-conference games of note. They'll play Rosemount at the Rosemount Holiday Invitational in a couple of weeks. Here's a 3, and that ricochets off the backboard, but stayed in the field of play. That allowed Munson to pursue, and she can't save it.
Well, I tell you what, Molly Monson has been all over the floor here on this night.
Averaging 13.2, and for Maple Grove, Jordan Ode, 22.8. Pretty good numbers there. Free throws coming. Claire Stern and Ava Cassette also double-digit scores. And speaking of, there's Ava, who missed some time with an ACL injury. Missed most of last year. Long and disruptive defender, in the words of Mark Cook, and Cassette part of that Fury pipeline. Makes both. Cassette played on the same AAU team as Frost. Olivia Olson was a part of that group. Here's Frost being doubled, and Centennial has to burn a timeout here. 17:21 left in the second half.
Well, Marisa Frost really got herself into a trap there.
That last trip to the free throw line for Cassette was the first time Maple Grove has been to the line this evening. And we talked a bit about Centennial's schedule. Rosemount, I'd say, is their biggest non-conference foe remaining. Northwest Suburban, they'll get another meeting with Andover, and that will, in all likelihood, decide who gets first in Section 7. And for Maple Grove, when you load up your schedule with all the lake teams, or all but one, I should say, and we know of the 5 that can hang with just about anybody. I think Maple Grove, they're on a mission.
Matchup with STMA here looming right after the first of the year as well.
January 8th, part of a home and home those two have had for years. Frost rejected by Holmquist. Maple Grove, they're on a mission. Last couple of years, we all thought would be the year they make it to state. Roseville got in the way. 6 to shoot for Centennial. Ooh, ill-advised pass. There was nobody underneath, at least no one open. Here's Ode. She'll hand it off to Stern for 3. Off the front iron. Jordan Metz feeling a certain kind of way about that foul call.
Isabella Hanna took a bit of a nasty spill, but she's okay.
Back to action. Claire Stern around the picket fence and in.
You know, you talk about players like Stern and Cossette for this Maple Grove team. They're really two key pieces. They're really the glue of this team, you know, from a leadership standpoint.
Stern again on the take in transition.
And just like that, the lead for Maple Grove is up to 12 now. So this is somewhat of a critical juncture here for Centennial.
Frost, long cross-court skip. Those jump balls that we refer to them in football, that's what that pass felt like. Those are always risky ones. It will stay Centennial ball here. Frost through the hole. Can't finish the runner. Sneaks in amidst the trees. In trouble, though, and...
Wow. Well, Frost kind of ran out of real estate there. Was looking for somebody to kick it out to, and...
Instead, it was the backboard that kicked it out.
Unfortunate turn of events for the Cougars.
It's a backboard that gives volleyball players here fits because it doesn't retract.
Right.
Like other schools. But that's another story. Ode gets it back after handing it off to Stern. That's a deep 3. Ava Cassette can't put it in. Centennial leaking out, and Sydney Schmitz finishes the play.
Nice play by the sophomore.
35-25. Cassette into the lane and has it poked away.
Guess who?
Molly Monson, she and Metz clamping down defensively. And from what I've seen, based on what I've seen, Alex, this tells me whatever happens as far as the outcome, Centennial, I would not risk betting against them in Section 7. Now, I haven't seen Andover yet. Anoka might be able to mix it up the way Evan Apinka's playing. Munson swatted away by Ava Cassette.
Yeah.
Still plenty of time, though, for the Cougars. Frost having a hard time making those runs at the rim work. Maple Grove, I'd say that's their one Achilles heel, Alex. If there's any weakness, those lead passes a little out of control for the Crimson.
Yeah.
But we're about a third of the way through the regular season. A third or a fourth. So still a lot of kinks and details to sort out. Whoa, look out. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that spill.
Neither would I.
I think what would happen if that were me, I probably would say something along the lines of, I've fallen and I can't get up. Because between Hannah and Metz, those are two strong, mighty athletes. And I don't want to fool around. Whoa.
Foul number 23, David Bassett, her third.
Well, that's 3 fouls on Cassette now, so Mark Hook has to make the tough decision to yank her for preservation purposes.
14:09 left. A couple of times now, Maple Grove getting caught. Frost needs help, finds it in Kate Lee. Now she goes in. Those layup attempts still not falling for Centennial. Addie Hanna over to Ode.
Oh,
And Jordan Ode shows him how it's done.
she can make the tough situations look easy.
Again, a lot of recognition in both high school and AAU, but I'll finish that in a moment. Frost finding Schmitz, too strong. It's Monson. Kate Holmquist, she's had a couple of blocks. Now Ode flings it underneath.
Oh, what a pretty reverse layup by Alexis Hanna, the junior.
2 points for craftiness. Frost pops up a 3. Maple Grove with their largest lead of the game. Could be another danger zone here. Ode pulls up, short. Frost flipping it to Lee. Now Metz looking to attack the lane. Gets her own miss. And
That's just a
reverses
pretty
it in.
reverse of her own.
Just like she drew up in practice. I'm positive. That was scripted. But Centennial will take it. They've had a lot of points in the paint come up empty.
Metz again.
Another swat. Monson trying to sprint ahead. Now trying to lean her way in. I don't know if that's going to be a foul on Centennial.
I think it's going to go on Monson being a little too aggressive.
I know we have the benefit of hindsight.
And that's her third as well.
I know we have the benefit of hindsight, Alex, but I feel in that situation, Monson might have been better off waiting for help to get there and run a set. She was trying to force the issue maybe a little too hard. But I also must remind everyone, I'm up here. I don't have to make those decisions. And a traveling call, so Centennial will get the ball back anyway. 39-27. Twelve minutes to go. This is Peterson. 3-second call.
Wow. I wonder if she might have gotten was going to get nabbed on that. Jamie Sobolik asking for an explanation on that. Frost almost had the steal there.
Trying to get the jump. Ode to Kendra Overski. Hanna. Overshoots the mark.
Those are the kinds of mistakes that have coaches reaching for the Tylenol PM at night.
And that's not the first time Maple Grove has flung some errant passes of that nature. Frost gets a floater to go in. And the margin is 10 again. Every game is different, though. Maple Grove, we saw them pull away against Wyzetta in something of a surprise. Here's a 3. It's long. Metz gets position and adds another rebound. Trying to go coast to coast and call for the charge.
Not so lucky that time.
Alexis Hanna putting her body on the line.
And Monson will come back in now for Centennial.
Metz
riding
picking
those
up her
three-
third.
Yeah, riding those 3 fouls. So
Monson has 3 as well. So this is not ideal for Centennial, and this will take away a defensive stopper in Metz. Maple Grove swings it around for 3. Peterson with the rebound. We're seeing Emma Thompson in the game for the first time. Frost swarmed. Ball taken away by Ode. Faking the 3 is Bella Hanna. She wants the runner. Offensive rebound. The southpaw Addie Hanna can't connect. Monson again. Zipping down court. Didn't see an opening, so Centennial will swing it back out, reset here. Three is offline. Ode brings it up. The Michigan State verbal. Not too many Minnesota kids go to Michigan State, at least not in my recollection.
well, we know one who did.
I know a couple. One did quite well there. Here's a 3 from the corner. An air ball from Kate Holmquist. Hanna.
Oh, what a
Addie
steal.
Hanna staying with it defensively. And a fresh 35 for Maple Grove. Bella to Holmquist from 15. Not that time. Oh boy.
Well, both teams in a bit of a drought here at the moment, but I think if you're a Centennial, despite all the struggles that you've been having on the offensive end, you're still down by only 10. There's a ton of time left. Let's see what they do here with a stoppage of play and try and draw up some strategy, maybe to get Metz some looks when she gets back in.
Centennial calling timeout. They have 3 remaining. In a quick-moving game, and also a strange game at that. We've seen quite a few miscues. Again, it's still the first chapter or so of the season. A few notes that I wanted to share. Kate Holmquist, another Minnesota Fury connection in this game. Jordan Ode, Alex, when she's not playing basketball, she enjoys recreational running, and she also plays alto saxophone.
Yes, she's a very good musician as well.
I didn't know that. I guess you did.
Yes.
Do you do sessions with her? I'm kidding.
No,
You're not as skilled.
I played baritone when I was in
Okay,
band,
so you and Jordan would
yeah,
not be in the same.
Yeah, and I can only read bass clef too, so.
So you were a bass player, so yeah, basses and
Yeah,
altos.
yeah.
2 different planes on the
Right.
musical spectrum. But Jordan Ode, the saxophone player, I was going to say Maya Johnson finished her college career at Michigan State, and Nia Holly, I think that's the person you were thinking of, played her college ball at Michigan State. Back coaching. And we're going to have free throws here for Bella Hanna. And speaking of Nia Holly, first year as a head coach at Two Rivers, and the Warriors undefeated.
Yeah.
They already surpassed last year's win total. They won a total of 5 games a year ago. They're already at 6-0.
Yeah.
So I might have to make my way over to Two Rivers. Right now, we've got Bella Hanna at the line. Just the 1 field goal. Hasn't scored a ton this season, but again, the Hannas alongside Jordan Ode run that OHH Training Academy. And it's really cool to see teenagers already offering their insights to the younger generation.
And again, we see Maple Grove getting into those passing lanes.
Oh, that was a nifty move on cassette.
Really good up until the end.
It looked really good except for the part where she traveled. But all these mistakes, they're fixable. If I'm in the huddle. That's what I'm telling everybody. They're fixable.
And Centennial still struggling to find some consistency, get some scores here.
Maple Grove, another errant pass. This will be a backcourt violation.
And Mark Cook not happy about it either.
The way these two teams are playing defensively, Alex, I'm wondering if it has rattled the psyche a bit. Because Centennial, offensively, they're still struggling, but defensively, they are causing all sorts of havoc.
Yep.
And Maple Grove doing the same. Frost in trouble, got out of it. 6 to shoot.
What few openings there have been for the Cougars have been very hard to come by, and there's another turnover.
Ode comes up with it. The steady hand, the kick out. 3 on the way. Bullseye. A huge 3 for Maple Grove.
And at the 7:30 mark, that might have been a backbreaker for Centennial. And those are the kinds of opportunities, if you're Centennial, that you absolutely have to cash in on.
Jump ball, Maple Grove with the arrow. And again, this team will see how the complexion changes when Autumn McCall comes back.
Right.
Defensively, they were able to hang with Minnetonka for a little while before the Skippers pulled away. And Lakeville North, without McCall, they don't have the size to match up against someone like Trinity Wilson. Stern. Didn't see a lane. Stern making something out of nothing. Mets almost had the pick underneath. And Stern's got 15. Another steal for Maple Grove.
And numbers.
It's Stern again. She'll go to the line. Claire Stern, another North Dakota State commit. I've never heard of this, Alex. Maybe you can explain it, or maybe Claire would if I have a chance to talk to her post-game. She's really good at ladder ball.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today, and I've never heard of ladder ball either. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up.
Well, I might, depending on what happens here, maybe I'll talk to her post-game and figure out what it is. She's also on the National Honor Society and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and she makes it 47-29 as Maple Grove is slowly pulling away. Offensive foul.
Yep.
And as we said in the open, Alex, whatever happens with Centennial, we've talked about this throughout this game. What you see out of Centennial tonight won't be what you see come February, given their success in
again,
section play.
I don't think that they won't even begin to hit their stride until sometime after the first of the year.
Stern looking to hit another stride. Her 3 goes off the back iron. Frost takes off running, looking to evade Stern. The two Fury teammates.
At the same time, though, we've seen flashes of what they're capable of.
Another 3 from Maple Grove, and it's pure. Addie Hanna, I think that will do it, Alex, for Maple Grove Centennial. I've seen this a couple of times throughout the season where teams that don't shoot well run into trouble. Defensively, Centennial, they've got the foundation in place, and I'm sure they can't wait to get Autumn McCall back to bolster up their ranks. Stern pulling up. Won't add 2 more there. And something else, again, Alex, a lot of the Centennial players that have been called up don't have a ton of experience yet. And Jamie was telling me pregame, something he's emphasized with his players, let's see what you look like come February when you get 25 starts to your credit.
Frost, though, still battling hard.
Well, Frost isn't going to give up quietly, go out easily. None of that, but just a real tough game for Frost here. She gets the steal.
One thing, though, you got to like about her, you got to love her fight and her grit. You know, even when things aren't necessarily going too well, she's still out there. She's still working hard, still looking for opportunities.
Well, it goes back to what you said about hitting their stride and all the experience. If you check out now, you don't get that opportunity. You don't get those learning chances that can benefit later on. So I can understand why they're still getting after it. And for the younger players, you never know when a college scout might be watching.
Exactly.
And it's easy to play to the scoreboard. It's another to stay with it when the game is out of reach. Here are free throws for Kate Lee.
Kate Lee hits the first for 2.
We're still in mid-December. We still have several invitationals to get through.
Rebound Stern.
Maple Grove will pick up another win, stay undefeated. Three ball, corner pocket. And Kate Holmquist finally gets on the board. Entering the season, too, we were discussing potential candidates for the state tournament. Oh, boy.
Gets a 3 off the
Jordan Metz banking in the 3. A little too late for Centennial, but you'll take it. Here's Kendra Overski, used up the dribble. Under 4 to play. Ode, quiet second half, but a sensational first half. Ode picks up the dime.
Well, you know, I think what's encouraging for Mark Cook right now he sees, you know, he knows he can get scoring contributions from others on the team, from the supporting cast, and that's going to help Jordan Ode as this season progresses.
Well, coming into this game, Stern was averaging over 14 as Kate Lee scores. So it's not as if Claire Stern came out of nowhere. Remember, she's going to North Dakota State to join Marisa Frost next year. But she goes up to 19. She's just one shy of her season high. But looking at the slate of games so far, Alex, Lakeville North, to me, could be a candidate if you're looking for state tournament contenders outside of the lake.
Yep.
Maple Grove, they're 6-0 now. Ode won't add 3 more. And you can't discredit the fact that Maple Grove has 2 wins against the Lake Conference.
Right.
That was a group that gave them fits the last couple of years where they would be oh so close, just couldn't quite reach the finish line. They've already got 2 wins. You still have 3 top-tier opponents ahead of you, but I think you got to give a look at Maple Grove as a possible championship contender outside the lake.
They certainly got the tools. They've got the pieces.
And they've got a 3-point stroke as Kate Holmquist demonstrates. I think Ode and Stern are done for the day. And this is one of those games, Alex, as Metz lines up another 3. Can't bank it in. The score might tell you one story. Centennial, up until the later stages here, did more than enough defensively to hang around in this game.
Keep in mind, they're close to the midway point. I mean, it was still a 10-point game before Maple Grove was able to finally start pulling away.
Bella Hanna with the steal and run out. So the final score might tell you something different. Again, Centennial kept it close for a while. Shots just weren't going in, and I did the St. Peter Becker game at the Tip-Off Classic. St. Peter ran away. Becker had just 1 field goal the entire second half, and when you don't shoot well, Alex, just about anyone can beat you. I think that's what happened for Centennial tonight. Ball deflected. Centennial doesn't realize that. And we're going to have a shot clock violation. Maple Grove, they get Buffalo next week, and they'll spend a little time off. They will take part in the Granite City Classic, playing Prior Lake. Prior Lake off to a slow start. St. Michael Albertville in early January. That will be another big barometer. Offensive rebound. That was Sophia Anderson. Maple Grove, they're cheering on their brethren off the bench. That was Alyssa Baronic, who I presume is the younger sister of Kylie Baronic.
Who's now, of course, the starting point guard at Gustavus and doing a great job there.
Traveling call. So Maple Grove, this was a tough-fought 26-point win.
Yeah.
Not exactly a runaway when you look at the flow of this game, but they got plenty from a couple of their big names, and that offensive tapestry should serve them well as the season continues. Again, they've got lots of Lake schools and Providence Academy ahead on the schedule. So Maple Grove will be ready come section time, and they hope to get past that pesky section round and into state. They get one step closer with a 61-35 win over Centennial.
Well, again, things did not go very well for Centennial in the half-court offense. I mean, Maple Grove really made things rough for them, getting into the passing lanes and just really denying a lot of opportunities. Marisa Frost had to carry a load. She did a tremendous job tonight, but in the end, it was just too much Maple Grove.
And Maple Grove goes to 6-0 as a result. We'll try to get a word with some of their players before we wrap it up. This is high school girls basketball. Maple Grove with a 26-point win over Centennial. Joining me are Jordan Ode and Claire Stern of Maple Grove, both D1 commits and both chipping in Maple Grove's 26-point win over Centennial. Jordan, we'll start with you since you're next to me. You set the tone in the first half, and you've been putting up some big numbers all season long. In a game where it can turn into a slog like it did, you and Centennial were exchanging a lot of defensive stops. How big was your first half emergence to get Maple Grove this win?
I mean, we just weren't hitting our shots down the stretch. So for me to hit those big shots are because of my teammates. I mean, their driving and kicking is a really big thing for me and for me to get open. And having so many threats offensively gets me open as well.
And this was a pretty big week for you, getting your 1,000th point. Of course, you got your college commitment out of the way. So what are you excited about as you continue on this season? And what do you think it says that you picked up 1,000 points and you still have a couple seasons to go?
Yeah, I mean, I love these girls and I love this team, and I think we can go really far. I mean, our goal is state. Obviously didn't make it last year, but getting to state and having a really long run in state is really our ultimate goal, and that's what I'm excited for.
And you're now 6-0, and I think even more, I don't want to say important, but notably, a couple of those wins have come against Lake Conference teams. In the past, those were teams that would give you a rough time, some difficulties. So to start the season like you have and get some wins against teams that would throw up that proverbial roadblock, what do you think it says about the trajectory and the growth of you and your fellow Crimson?
Yeah, I mean, all of us have been working individually. I mean, we all play AU, and then over the summer we have what's called Morning Mayhem, where we work out in the morning every morning, and then practice we are always 100% intensity. So all of that combined really gets us ready for the season and hoping to continue this run.
Well, one such athlete who gave Centennial some mayhem in the second half was Claire. Claire, you came up in the second half after Jordan. I don't want to say she cooled off because she got you a few dimes. There's more than one way to contribute, as you know, but she had the big first half. You stepped up in the second half. How do you think that helped Maple Grove pull away?
I think just a big thing was we started we moved the ball really well in the second half, and we made the extra pass to get the one more. And I think that's something that helps me hit shots is my teammates, they're always supporting and they're always willing to make the extra. So to pass up a good shot for a great shot, and I think that says a lot about our team.
And not only did that help tonight, but another fun fact was, at least to our knowledge, this is the last time you'll play against Marisa before you suit up in the green and gold at North Dakota State. And I know you two always look forward to this matchup because of the Fury connection. So does that add a little extra special ingredient to this conference rivalry to have all of these ties coming together?
I think so. I think we like to compete against each other, get each other better. But at the end of the day, we're super excited to go up and play each other. But I think we all know each other so well by now through playing each other for as many years as we have, and with AAU too, that I think knowing the person on the other team, you kind of get that rivalry, like you said, and we just kind of want to beat up on each other, but at the end of the day, love each other. So
I was going to say, I suppose after this, you and Marisa will probably text back and forth saying, I could see Marisa saying something like, "Good game, but I'll get you next time," right?
Yeah.
And vice versa. And I asked Jordan this, so what do you think has been the secret to the 6-0 start and getting some wins against Lake Conference teams that you think could help Maple Grove get past that section hump that has been so pesky these last couple of years?
Yeah, kind of like what Jordan said. We work super hard in practice and over the summer. We're in there on the weekends in the weight room trying to get strong and be the best that we can be. And I think with our team this year, we get along so well off the court as well, which I think helps with that chemistry on the court. And we're always trying to team bond, or we're with each other all the time. And I think that overall helps us with what we're doing right now, going 6-0 and hopefully getting past that section championship game this year.
Now, I am curious, Jordan and Claire, since you know so many of these players with Fury, and I'm guessing you've had to scrimmage against each other being on separate teams, who's the toughest to go against? Or do you two have to dread going against each other? I'm wondering, because I don't think I've seen so many players who have that background.
Yeah, on our team in practice.
I'm just curious, because it's like you've probably had to go against Claire and Marisa and Olivia, and I'm sure Claire would say the same about you and Addie and Autumn.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you two would give each other nightmares.
We do.
Yeah, we definitely we like to go against each other. I mean, she pushes me to be the best player that I can be.
I get a block on her every once in a while.
So that really helps. But yeah.
There are a couple of things I wanted to address. Jordan, I understand that you are quite the alto saxophone player in the band. Do you have any favorite songs that you like to play in the saxophone?
So first, I promise I'm not a band nerd.
Well, it's okay if you're a band nerd. No. Hey, music can be a window to so many things. Embrace it. Own it.
Yeah. My favorite song. Ooh. So right now we're playing Christmas songs, and my favorite one to play is Jingle Bells. That's a classic.
And Claire, I understand you are a superb ladder ball player. What the heck is that sport? Can you explain it for us?
It's so the one with the 3 bars, and then you have the ball on either end of the string, and you throw that, try to land on one of them. Yeah, I practice in my yard a lot in the summer, so definitely, better watch out. If we ever meet up, you're going down. So
lose that one.
I could see it now. Next time Jordan gets a block on you during AAU scrimmage, I could see Claire going, "That's it. We're to the ladder ball court."
Oh boy.
So before we go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
I'll say hi to my sister. She plays tennis. So hi to my sister Summer, and then my parents, Amy and Matt.
Yeah, hi to my family, all my friends, my boyfriend. Yeah. So hi to everyone. But yeah.
Well, hi everyone, and don't mess with Claire, or she might challenge you to ladder ball. Likewise, don't mess with Jordan, or she might challenge you to a saxophone off. I don't think I'd want to be on the receiving end of either of those. Well, it's always fun to learn what makes you tick beyond basketball, and thanks for sharing a little glimpse of that with us.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see what you can do the rest of the way.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Jordan Ode and Claire Stern from Maple Grove, and that will wrap up our coverage here from Centennial. For Alex Nagel and the rest of the crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching.